Lee's Boxing Truth. So Gervonta Tank Davis pleaded guilty in court for a hit and run. We'll have to serve time later. Let's talk about it. So Gervonta Tank Davis, who is scheduled to fight Ryan Garcia April 15th, has went to court to deal with an issue of a hit and run. Didn't try to deny it, didn't try to lawyer up or anything like that. He just pleaded guilty to hit and run. I'm pretty sure that Gervonta Tank Davis had an advisor or a lawyer advisor who would tell him the consequences of a hit and run. You know, thank God that the people, I believe, are safe and nobody was, you know, killed in the process of a hit and run, because some of these hit and runs could be very tragic. And so I'm glad for that, and I'm hoping, you know, him taking the guilty plea, meaning that he's saying that he admitted to the crime of hit and run. So taking ownership of things you have done is always a good thing. It shows that you possibly learn from your mistake. Now the thing to show that you truly have learned from a mistake is not repeat the mistake again. So with that being said, I pray that all the people that are, you know, good in the situation, and this fight looks like it's about to manifest, it's about to happen. I'm glad to see Gervonta has been in training camp this whole time, and to me that's the best thing. You got a boxer that's constantly, you know, getting in trouble here and there, or just grew up around a lot of bad things going up in his life. You know, he grew up in Baltimore, one of the roughest places to, you know, grow up. So him staying busy consistently and being around positive people helps out a lot. Because Gervonta is a superstar, but he needs fights like this against Ryan Garcia, and he needs fights like Devin Haney to, you know, just show how great he is. Win or lose, he's that guy. One thing about Gervonta Tank Davis, he doesn't come across as being a fake person. He comes across as being a genuine person, you know, like it or not. Are there things he has to work on? Of course. You know, everybody has things they can improve on. So him having, you know, kids, it seems like he's trying to do better than what was presented to him as a child. And so far, I think he has met that. I think he's constantly in his kids' lives, so that's always a good thing. So I'm not here to bash Gervonta or anything like that, because at the end of the day, we're all human, we're all flawed, we all make mistakes. The key is to learn from the mistakes that we make. And pray that these mistakes don't end us behind bars, or worse than that, end us in 6 feet under. So it's all over the internet. You know, he pleaded guilty, and my hat's off to him. Some people are like, oh, I would have fought it. What for? What for? He saved himself some money. You know, now he might have to do a little bit of time. Talking about probably up to 30 days, but that's not gonna be that hard. He ain't the first boxer that's been in jail. He won't be the last boxer that's been in jail. But hopefully, if he do that, 30 days is probably the longest time that I know that he's ever done, if done any. And if he does that, sometimes you set and you think about things, allowing you to be away from everything that's so easily accessible to you, and you're in a spot where everything is not accessible for you. You have to depend on a corrections officer to get things for you here and there. You have to ask, can you please get this? Can you give me this? I need this. You know, I ran out of toilet paper. I need a pencil. I need this. You know, there's plenty of things that you could be doing besides sitting behind bars. And I think if Gervonta has a 2-week, 3-week, or a month in jail, or maybe he might be lucky, he might do 1 or 2 days and that's it. But I believe that this whole situation, he's starting to grow up, and starting to learn that, you know, he needs to make sure he's doing the right thing. He's talking the right way too. He's talking about retirement and all that stuff, but he knows he's got to place these fights in order, and he has to make sure that, you know, the bills and all this stuff is taken care of. Because he's the type of person that can branch off into different things. He's a likable person, but you have to get that stuff under control, so it even makes you more marketable. Doing commercials, you know, Sugar Ray and them used to have commercials. Hagler them back in the days, they used to have commercials too. So it's like you don't see these boxers with commercials like that. I know Ryan Garcia has he has some kind of deal, I think, with Gatorade, stuff like that. And I don't know all the deals that Tank might have, but you know, when you see somebody come from a situation or certain situations that you might have crossed when you was growing up, you kind of want to see them. When you see them at that level, you want to see them succeed. You don't want the story to end where they grew up bad and then they did good, and then at the end of it, it went back bad. You kind of want to say, hey, it went good, and then he was able to make situations for his kids. You know, and they don't know nothing about the lifestyle of what he had to go through. So I'm glad that this situation is taken care of. I'm hoping that we won't have no more, you know, developments coming up with Gervonta, because, you know, he just needs to focus on boxing, and he needs to be fighting like 3 times out of a year, and if that's what he wants to do, or 2 times. But anything, he needs to stay in the gym to keep him busy. If that helps him stay out of trouble, you know, until he starts figuring things out and stop hanging around certain people, you know, he needs to do what he needs to do to make sure that this situation doesn't happen again. Lee's Boxing Truth. Like, comment, please subscribe. I'm almost at 500. Tell a friend and tell a friend to subscribe.